it just, think about it. Think about it. I just say, when I saw this, I was like, Poleneche don't shit for church. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sama. So in this video I want to address this story that's been going around about the man they call Pastor Paul Eneche. So apparently at the weekend, a woman came out in the church to give a testimony of graduating from she did a course or a degree, a kind of a degree in law. This woman came out to give her testimony. While she was giving her testimony, Eneche decided to interrogate her basically and question her and ask her what degree did she get, what is her degree called, and stuff like that. And the woman, if you actually watch that video, she actually said the LLB at first. If you listen to her the first time they asked her, but when he asked her again, I think somehow she kind of like, I don't know what happened, but maybe she was second guessing herself, or maybe her confidence got affected or whatever, and she said BSc. And then he was like, you know, she's a liar, she's lying, and that there's no such thing as BSc, get out of there, and all of that. A lot of you may have come across that story. And basically this woman was humiliated in the presence of Igbe Madu. In the presence of Igbe Madu. If you don't know what Igbe Madu is, it is Igbo language. Igbe Madu means multitude of people. Don't forget that this is, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest church building in the world, 100,000 seating capacity. So this woman, not only the 100,000 seating capacity people, the whole world gets to see it. But listen to what Eneche said. He said, is that how lawyers speak? So from some of the things he said, you can tell that he already judged her by her ability to speak good English or not, by how well she handles the by how well she handles the English language. That was how he judged her first. Yes, to a great extent, we know, in Nigeria, if you have good education, you're most likely going to have good English, right? But she, from what she explained, she's an adult student. When I say adult student, that's what we call them here. It's like people that went into school after the age of such and such and such. Do you know, they didn't go through secondary school to college, do you know what I mean? Sorry, university. And she said it, like in her family, that she's the first one to be a graduate, right? And all of that. So she's giving an idea of where she's coming from. And we all know that to a great extent, a lot of the people that would not have good English would be people that they didn't have good education. I have always said it. I didn't speak good English until I was in secondary school. Let's say second year in secondary school. Because I grew up in Benin, where we speak more pidgin than the correct English. Do you know what I mean? And at home, we spoke the Igbo language, which I would always be grateful for, because that's why today I can speak my language. You understand? Not like nowadays we're raising children was blowing grammar at home, and then school is not going to blow your language for them at school. So they grab only grammar from school and grammar at home. At the end of the day, our languages are disappearing. Okay, let me go back to this topic. So going back to this woman, people questioning how well she speaks English. It depends at what, it depends at what stage in her life that she was able to get a good education, right? Because if she went to like anyhow, I didn't go to a private primary or secondary school. My elder ones did. I didn't. I'll share my story here. My father used to be stinkily rich, but by the time he reached my turn, money not today again. So I went to a public school. We know I don't know how it is now, but public schools can be sometimes not really the best, depending on the public school you went to, because there are different public schools in Nigeria. But anyways, so if your English is already bad, primary level, secondary level, and you not get to university, you understand, you already have bad English. Some people's grammar, they're already so bad with their grammar, or the way they arrange their words, that is basically is already part of them. In my language, we say ana mwake benanka. You don't learn left hand in old age. It's like their bad grammar, bad English, bad whatever you want to call it, is already set in stone. So she may go there and get a degree. She didn't go there to study English, as in, okay, let me put it this way. I don't know what their models are. I don't know if they're called models in Nigeria. Subjects that they do. I don't know what they are. But the thing is that if she only started university at that age, you can tell that Otilo, as in, how do I say? It's like her English is already what it is. So, but this idea of judging people according to how well they speak English, according to how well they speak the white man's language, according to how well they speak our colonizers' language, our slave masters' language, right? Okay. Something else that came to my mind is this. From what he said, you know, is that how they did it? And I think that the way she spoke English was why he doubted her from the get-go. And this is why we say, if men were God. Because, oh, you see, when we talk about judging people, as a human, like judging people, imagine that this woman was judged by her English not too sweet. You know in Nigeria we have this thing about the Ajebotas and the Ajepakos. So if your English is not good, then you must belong to Ajepako. So if you come out with good English, it doesn't matter what else you do, you're already respected. There was this TikToker, I just came across the video. He was talking about him having a British accent, and he realized that when he goes to Nigeria, it's like people worship this is foreign accent is coming from. He said he could be saying the most shitey thing. You know what I mean by that? You know, he could be saying the most rubbish thing in the world, and people are just fascinated. It's almost like he's saying an amazing thing. It's simply the accent that they're carried away with. So you see how people judge. So imagine if man was God, or if men were God, like they say. Can you imagine, like if God was to handle us, if God was to handle human beings the way we handle ourselves, or the way we look down on ourselves, our fellow man, our fellow woman, you understand? So he like I'm saying, he judged her already according to her English. You know, she's not privileged enough to have gone abroad and come back with some kind of funny. That reminds me, if she had some kind of Britico accent, Americano accent, and she was lying, I'm sure she would have got away with it, because she would have sounded more polished and more Ajebota. Sorry, if you're not Nigerian, Ajebota. Ajebota is actually to J in Yoruba. That's one of the languages in Nigeria. Is basically to eat. So the butter eaters. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but the way I understand is that people that eat butter, there was a time where to eat butter, you have to be rich. You have to be from a rich home. So butter was for rich people. So they say the butter eaters versus the Paco eaters. Those that, sorry, those that eat wood. Paco is wood. So you are Ajebota, you are posh, you're, you know, if you are Ajebota, you know, but if you are Ajepako, you eat wood, you're poor, you're wretched, and all of that. So that is that. Another problem is, you know, let me say this, right? That woman's testimony was hers to tell. It was not NHS to tell. It is her personal testimony, right? If this woman gave her testimony about, because it's between her and her God, and eventually it was found out it was a lie, nothing stops a church from coming out to say, she came here, she gave her testimony, it is her testimony. If it's a lie, that is her lie. We didn't question her. That is, you know, it's between her and her God. It's different from, let me say this, because those that may say, but people say that, people always say that you are doing this or that. When NHS claims that, I'm using the word claim because I'm not there, that they did claim that they did healings, then he is directly involved. If this woman had come to say, this my leg I broke, oh, NHS touched it, oh, and is healed, then NHS can feel like, okay, I'm directly involved in this leg. So, let me clear my name. I not touch your leg. When did I touch your leg? I'm giving that as an example. But this is a personal testimony. It is a personal testimony between her and her God. So it shouldn't have been his place to question her like that. If you want to, say you want to filter testimonies, it's very simple. Create a committee or whatever. Leave them in charge. If they can have prayer warrior group, this group, why don't you create a group of people that filter people's testimonies before they come out to say it out in public, if you want to do that. But to boldly humiliate somebody like that is wrong. It's absolutely wrong. You see, I've said it several times before. Things that happen when people put themselves in the place that belongs to God, to feel so mighty enough to just so openly accuse somebody of telling a lie, just so confidently do it, and didn't even allow, like even when he didn't even allow her to finish. Ask her, why don't you ask her more questions about what's the name of the school? You understand, one or two other things. shut her down, didn't give her a chance to even maybe explain herself even more. This is what happens. I tell people, when people want to place you in a position that belongs to God, you have the choice to say, put me down, Butwum. The Bible will say, put me down. It's between you and your God. You understand? This man went as far as even threatening them and saying something about, if anybody should come here and tell a testimony that is not true, this and that. And he said, you know, this threat about threatening people with death. All of us go die. No, only the time we do not know. Prepare your minds. People use fear in churches these days way too much. If you're sure of what you're doing, why always use fear on people? Fear of death on people. Why? Why always use that? He now says something about people come here and give a testimony that, how did he phrase it? God killeth and maketh alive. So basically, if you want to interpret that, it's like, if you tell a lie here, God will kill you. Why? Fear in everything. Why? Is that necessary? So at the same time, oh, did I even say it? That eventually they found out, I don't think I forgot to say that. Eventually from the reports is like, results, people started bringing out proof that the woman actually truly went to whatever course she actually went to whatever school she was saying she did. She didn't lie. And at the end of the day, she was accused falsely. And this is our pastors, Nigerian pastors, that can see vision for the next whatever years of Nigeria. They can tell the future. They can do this and do that. But where is that? You know, people come and say, touch not my anointed. You guys see, anointed is touching people. So wrong. Where is that vision that they can see? They can prophesy. They can do this, they can that. But they did not know when something is true or is not true. Abi, that same, the spirit that they say, because that's what they say, that can show them this and show them that, did not tell them that this woman is telling the truth. Like I keep saying, it's the power of social media. There was a time when something like this would have just died down just like that. But social media went on it and started bringing out receipts. Somebody came out and said she was my classmate. She was my this. Information is everywhere. Look, just think about it. Think about it. I just say, when I saw this, I was like, Poleneche not shit for church. This is how, people need to be calming down. Take ego away from your life. It will help you a lot. See how? This is all ego and everything. It's ego that has made Poleneche to shit inside church. Is it the first time we've seen things like this from him? You know the way it became like an interview? If you want to be interviewed, why don't they interview them before they even give them mic to come? A few days before, to come and speak at their pulpit. Like, anyways, I saw that story I wanted to share with you guys. As always, this is how I feel about it. Whatever your opinions are about it, please leave them in the comment section below. With that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.